What is unconscious bias and how does it affect teachers' decision-making and behaviours? Research by neuroscientists and psychologists explains how we are all influenced by individual unconscious biases. Unconscious biases are formed by socialisation, personal experiences, and how different groups are portrayed in the media. These experiences act as social filters through which we make assessments and judgments about the people around us. This results in our unconscious preference for certain groups and biases against other groups. Psychology tells us that we all have a natural tendency to place individuals into social categories. These categories are often based on visual cues, such as appearance, gender, ethnicity, and body size. We may also categorize based on family background, where people live, accent, and socioeconomic status. Biases based on social categories can readily arise through simple associations. For example, if we are constantly exposed in the media to people who are considered conventionally attractive, as having more friends and being more successful, and people with a visible difference as less successful and having fewer friends, it's therefore not surprising that as teachers we will often unconsciously associate learners with a visible difference with negative outcomes, and learners without a visible difference with positive outcomes. If a teacher has no visible difference themselves, they may be biased towards learners who look like them. This is called affinity bias. A common form of unconscious bias influences our expectations and behaviours in relation to learners with a visible difference. This can include decisions about how learners are grouped, low expectations about academic achievement and behaviour, and giving less challenging work. It can also mean that as teachers, we may perceive bullying as inevitable for learners with a visible difference. We may also avoid discussing the support the learner may need with parents or other teachers because of our unconscious bias. Due to affinity bias, teachers can gravitate towards learners who are more like them. This can often result in a set of subtle behaviours, sometimes called micro-behaviours. Examples of positive micro-behaviours can include choosing certain learners to do things, such as being picked to answer questions or supporting learners' ideas, and giving more encouragement and feedback. It can also show itself by behaviour, such as chatting with certain learners after class or in break time. Examples of negative micro-behaviours include cutting learners off, not supporting their ideas, and giving less feedback. Negative micro-behaviours can be based on other unconscious biases, such as asking girls to tidy the classroom and boys to move the furniture, or having certain expectations for behaviour or academic achievement based on ethnicity. As teachers, we don't intend to make biased decisions. By thinking carefully about issues of inclusivity and fairness, recognising the potential for biased behaviours, and creating inclusive school cultures, we can reduce such biases and mitigate the impact of unconscious associations on our classrooms and schools.